Thank you, sir. This bill is obviously pretty important to me and several people in my district. This bill doesn't take away glyphosate. That's not what it does. It doesn't cancel out research. That's not what it does. It does keep just Missourians who have cancer from suing two major foreign-owned chemical corporations that make billions and billions of dollars off the backs of our farmers. Whenever we give a monopoly more power over the health and lives of Americans, Missourians, this keeps Missourians from having their due process in court. That's what this bill does. And why is this bill important to me? When I first started running for office, my district was extended into a few other counties, and I was knocking doors in the big metropolises of Higbee, Missouri. Sorry if I can't hold back my tears, but I'll get through it. A man named Matt Kirby got non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. He was born the same year I was born, 73. I'm old. He did not make it to his third bone marrow transplant. He did not. They took out a $150,000 loan on their small business in Higbee that they still owe $90,000 just to pay medical bills. Nobody in the room. It's ridiculous. Matt and his family are super right-wing. When I met Matt, he said, "Oh, there's a Democrat in my business." And I told him I'd like to have an event at his business. What campaign event? And he said, "All right." So I met Dale, his dad. It's funny, just got all kinds of anti-Democrat jokes to tell, and of course I go along with them. They're funny. And so when I went and visited him the second time, just out knocking doors, I wanted to stop by there just to let him know that I know you know I'm a Democrat, but I'm here to represent you as a representative. And he says, "Well, my son has a question for you, Adrian." His son was standing right there. I said, "Well, he can speak for himself." And his name's Noah. I've tried to get him to testify against this bill. And he said, "Adrian," he said, "what's your stance on guns?" And I looked him square in the eye and I says, "I'm coming to get him, buddy. I'm coming to get him." And so we've been friends ever since, because we all know that's a false narrative, right? And so his dad died in his recliner after they told me he was done. His body couldn't handle it anymore. We're talking about American lives, Missouri lives. And do we give more power to foreign-owned industries to skirt the rights of Americans to have their due process in court? Doesn't sound very American to me. Sounds like America's second policy to me. I don't know when we decided to monopolize our food industry to the hands of foreign interests. I just think that we're going in the wrong direction when it comes to that. We've seen the previous governor bring a company in to Missouri from Germany to create jobs instead of developing Missouri companies to compete with those companies. It's one thing to do business with these foreign entities. It's another thing to have them control our farming industry and put their thumbs and make them as large as we can to put their fingers on Missourians to get their due process and using American lives for collateral damage for their bad chemicals. And the only way we can get justification or even the facts is through the court system. They hide the information. The FDA is not effective because they rely on the information that Bayer provides them, their studies. They haven't done a study since 1991 when it comes to carcinogens in their products. They haven't done it because it's not in their favor to do it. And now we let them buy policy, buy politicians to bring policy to the state house that I can't even get anything done in. And we give them more power to do that? It's a bit ridiculous to me. When are we going to get back to America first? When are you going to stand for the things you actually say you stand for? Free market is a market of competition. Without competition, you have to have litigation. There's no accountability otherwise. They're making $100 million per week. It's a multi-billion-dollar industry. And that's not to include the pharmaceutical side. That's a trillion-dollar industry. We already know they take advantage of Americans when it comes to pharmaceuticals. These people are making money hands over fist at the expense of American lives. Thank you, sir.
Further discussion. The chair